Oh my gosh, Jason.
Ow now, brown cow. Ow now, brown cow.
Unique New York.
New York. See, now that's.
I'm really excited!
Oh, here we go.
Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce continue to dominate headlines with a mix of music, sports, and bold moves. First up, newly released behind-the-scenes footage shows Taylor leading vocal warm-ups with Travis before their New Heights taping, sparking talk of their first unofficial duet. Next, Kylie Kelce is praising Taylor's viral badass remark and even hinting she enjoys the singer's growing sourdough obsession.
There's a trending TikTok sound from the other podcast that I can confidently say is one of the most badass things ever said on there.
Then, Taylor confirms her upcoming Life of a Showgirl album will be capped at just 12 tracks, a promise fans think carries deeper meaning. After that, Swift unveils fresh vinyl art, turning heads with a daring look. Meanwhile, Reid sides with Taylor on one key trait of Travis. Finally, Erin Andrews reveals the cheeky text she sent Taylor after seeing her risqué Showgirl photos. Before Taylor made her big debut on New Heights, insiders say the couple turned the studio into their own little Glee Club. Picture this, a Super Bowl champ and a 14-time Grammy queen warming up their voices like they're about to drop a joint album. Honestly, can we call this their first duet? Jason Kelce, being the chaotic older brother that he is, kicked things off with tongue twisters that sounded more like a kindergarten acting class than a serious warm-up. Ow Now Brown Cow had the room echoing like a Will Ferrell skit, and Travis jumped right in, zero shame, giving it everything like the camera was already rolling. Meanwhile, Taylor just breezed in, looking like she'd been doing this since birth. Instead of words, she went straight for the lip trills, that buzzy thing singers do that makes them look like a motorboat. And of course she nailed it because she's Taylor Swift. Jason, clearly impressed but also losing his mind laughing, tried to give her props before Travis stole the spotlight again. He belted out his own vocal exercise that sounded more like a hype man intro at a WWE match than anything remotely musical. Dude was practically screaming "I'm ready for my close-up" straight into the camera. Classic Travis. Shy is not in his vocabulary.
Oh my gosh, Jason.
Ow now, brown cow. Ow now, brown cow.
Unique New York.
New York. See, now that's.
I'm really excited!
Oh, here we go.
This is the same guy who once drunkenly serenaded the world with Viva Las Vegas after a Super Bowl and later popped up on stage at Taylor's Eras Tour in a tux and top hat like he'd been training for Broadway his whole life. The couple laughed about that Wembley moment on the podcast, with Taylor teasing that she never pressured him but spotted the sparkle in his eye. Travis, on the other hand, admitted he basically blacked out and prayed for the best while 90,000 fans screamed. Taylor, ever the supportive girlfriend, reminded him he crushed it, and even said his timing was so sharp he slowed down time itself. Honestly, relationship goals. And speaking of Kelce family reactions, Jason's wife Kylie is now waving her Swiftie flag like she's been waiting her whole life for this moment. On her own podcast, Kylie couldn't stop gushing about one particular Swift quote that went viral faster than a Chiefs touchdown. She called it straight up badass, and honestly, she's not wrong. The line came from Taylor's New Heights debut, where she joked about how male sports fans clearly want nothing more than more of her on their screens. Cue the internet losing its collective mind. Kylie said the clip has basically taken over women's sports TikTok. Everyone from ESPN's Mina Kimes to the Nebraska volleyball team has slapped the audio onto their videos like it's the new national anthem. And Kylie? She's loving every second of it. She even gave Mina props for being the queen of ESPN shows, saying she deserves the spotlight because she's crushing it every single time.
Last on Doom Scroll, there's a trending TikTok sound from the other podcast that I can confidently say is one of the most badass things ever said on there. And now it's being used by so many women across the sports world, including ESPN analyst Mina Kimes. I love all the women in sports that I have seen using this trend. Alona Mar, Livy Dunn, Nebraska volleyball team. There have been so many.
Sounds like Kylie has no problem admitting she's all in on this Taylor takeover, both in sports and in the kitchen. Yep, the kitchen. Before anyone could dive too deep into sports talk, Kylie casually introduced herself as an enjoyer of sourdough. If you know, you know.
And I'm an enjoyer of sourdough. If you know, you do.
That was a wink at Taylor's current bread obsession, which has basically turned her into the Martha Stewart of yeast. Insiders say Taylor's been baking non-stop, handing out loaves like Oprah with cars. She's even got a menu going: blueberry, raspberry, strawberry, OG sourdough, and cinnamon sugar, thanks to Kylie's request. For Jason and Kylie's daughters, Taylor apparently went full Pinterest mom, whipping up rainbow funfetti sourdough with sprinkles because, let's be real, kids only care if it's colorful and sugar-loaded. And while she's busy being the Kelce family's personal baker, she's also making it crystal clear that her next album, The Life of a Showgirl, is staying lean, mean, and exactly 12 songs long. For Swift, who's been both praised and roasted for flooding fans with endless editions, this is basically her planting a flag and saying, "We're doing less this time, y'all." Insiders say the timing isn't random either. Fans are still recovering from the avalanche that was the Tortured Poets department. That one came as a surprise double drop with more vinyl colors than a pack of Skittles, and the backlash hit harder than a linebacker. Reddit went off, calling it bloated, exhausting, and let's just say, a nightmare for anyone's wallet. And just when fans thought the chaos might never end, Billboard swooped in earlier this year with a rule: no more than 4 editions can count toward the charts. Translation: the days of endless bundle tricks and surprise covers are over. So when Taylor says 12 and done, people are believing her. Some even joked it's like she finally listened to the planet, her fans, and maybe her own sanity. Of course, Swifties being Swifties, they're also dissecting the number 12 like it's a Da Vinci Code. It's her 12th album, dropping October 3rd, a date forever tied to Mean Girls, and she's always been about numerology and hidden winks. Fans are convinced this stripped-down approach is more than a music choice. It's a whole statement about reinvention and learning from the noise around her. But just when everyone was breathing easy, thinking Taylor was finally putting the brakes on her vinyl factory, boom! She jumps online in a bedazzled bikini and feathers like she's auditioning for Vegas Residency of the Century and announces yet another Showgirl vinyl drop. Swifties didn't even have time to finish their sourdough toast before the internet caught fire. This time she's rocking a barely there jewel-covered bikini with a yellow feathered headpiece that looks like Big Bird joined Cirque du Soleil. Add backup dancers and matching fits, and suddenly your Instagram feed feels like the Moulin Rouge took over your phone. Naturally, she told fans the vinyl, hilariously named The Baby That Show Business Collection, is only available for 48 hours. Translation: if you blink, you're either broke or left out. For $29.99, fans can pick between Lovely Bouquet Golden and Lakeside Beach Blue Sparkle, which honestly sounds less like vinyl variants and more like shades of nail polish you'd find at a salon that gives you free wine. And of course, collectors are foaming at the mouth trying to grab both before they disappear faster than Travis Kelce's off-season. And because Taylor never does settle, this isn't even her first Showgirl vinyl stunt. Just days earlier, she already had Swifties losing their minds over another promo where she wore a sultry wine and black burlesque leotard, gloves up to her elbows, bold red lips, the whole vintage cabaret vibe. That one came with the reveal of the Shiny Bug Edition. Yes, that's actually the name, which sounds like something your toddler names their pet rock but somehow still sells out in 5 minutes. Now let's talk about the man who inspires both Taylor and Andy Reid to break into full-on pep rally mode, Travis Kelce. Turns out Taylor wasn't the only one getting bombarded with "he's amazing" speeches from friends and cousins. Andy Reid's been living that reality for years. The Chiefs coach basically co-signed Taylor's description of Travis as the human equivalent of an exclamation point. Only difference? Reid's seen it in the locker room, not at Eras Tour in Wembley. Sources say Big Red isn't out here tossing compliments like free barbecue wings, but when he does, he means it. He told folks that Kelce's whole mission is to make people laugh, smile, and feel good, like the guy's a walking party favor with cleats. And honestly, that tracks. Reid's had front row seats to 13 years of this circus, and somehow the vibe hasn't fizzled. Kelce isn't just catching passes, he's catching rookies when they drop balls, cracking jokes mid-drill, and choreographing locker room dances like he's auditioning for So You Think You Can Tight End. Even during training camp, when most guys look like zombies running wind sprints, Kelce's clowning with Noah Gray, making dad jokes so bad the linemen forgot they're melting in the Missouri heat. And then he turns around and torches younger defenders in one-on-one drills, which had Reid joking that his star tight end suddenly looks 20 again. Translation: the man's Benjamin Buttoning his way through preseason. And speaking of Benjamin Button Kelce defying time, Erin Andrews just about aged backward herself when Taylor's Life of a Showgirl album art hit the internet. Insiders say she practically spit out her coffee and immediately fired off a text that was less "good morning" and more "who gave you permission to look like that." We're talking full caps lock energy, emojis flying, the whole 9 yards. Apparently Erin's first reaction was basically body audie in text form, and honestly, same. Erin and Charissa Thompson, being the hype squad they are, couldn't stop gassing her up on their own podcast, joking about how Taylor's 35 but looks like she's been living on skincare serums and good karma. Charissa even joked she had to grab her gym bag mid-scroll, which, mood. But of course the conversation didn't stay PG for long. The two made sure to give Travis his flowers, pointing out how he was basically her hype man when she revealed the cover on New Heights. Every track title she dropped, Travis jumped in like a broken record player stuck on banger. Insiders say Erin and Charissa were swooning, calling him adorable for being the human equivalent of a sideline cheerleader with better facial hair. And Taylor? She's been explaining the whole showgirl vibe like it's her alter ego. Apparently, she came up with the concept while bouncing between sold-out era shows and late-night hotel decompression sessions. Think sparkly bustier in a bathtub, after running an obstacle course of pyrotechnics and costume changes. That visual became the mood board for the whole record. Wild, messy, joyful, and dripping in glitter. She even said the orange era color is because life just felt that bright and sunny while she was making it. That's all for this video, folks. We'll see you next time.